With the Legacy of the Sith 7.0 expansion coming out on December 14th, 2021 for Star Wars The Old Republic, many players have been asking me how they can prepare for the upcoming expansion. While there's still a lot of unanswered questions revolving around the expansion, especially when it comes to combat styles and the new gearing system, there are a few tips you can take advantage of when it comes to getting ready in the last few weeks before the expansion. Let's dig into the list. Alright, number 0. Download the game. If you aren't a current player, for example, you took a break or haven't played in a while and are jumping back in for the expansion, it would be a really smart idea to download the game early before the expansion comes out. This is because when the expansion launches, everyone will be trying to download the update at once, and lots of new and returning players will be trying to download the game from scratch all at once, which clogs up the system and makes the download go a lot slower during that time period. If you don't already have the game downloaded, I recommend picking it up on Steam instead of SWTOR.com, as Steam allows you to turn on automatic updates. Of course, there's nothing wrong with the SWTOR.com launcher. If you already have the game downloaded, but you haven't updated it in a while, log in early and update it as much as you can before the expansion so you only have a little bit to update and download the day of. Okay, our proper number 1. Level your characters. Most expansions require that your character be the correct level before you can start them. There's a high chance that to start Legacy of the Sith, your character will need to be level 75 or higher for any characters that you want to play the expansion on, and eventually level up to 80. You can save some time by pre-leveling them all to level 75. Number 2, catch up on the story. You may also want to catch up on the storyline for all your characters you want to jump into in the new expansion. Ideally, you'll have completed Osis, the Onslaught expansion, Echoes of Oblivion, Spirit of Vengeance, the Dantooine Flashpoint, and then the final short story quest, which is called Whispers in the Force, which is a hint towards what is coming in the expansion with Darth Null as part of the cutscene. Number 3. Renown Achievements. Renown is a system for gearing up in the current expansion. It's not the main way to gear up, but it's a way of passively getting gear no matter what you're doing in the game at level 75. In the next expansion, 7.0, we'll be getting a new gearing system, and Renown is being retired. Along with it, 2 special achievements are also becoming retired and unable to be earned. And these are called the Limitless and Everybody Knows My Name achievements. So the first is Limitless, and you can find them in your Legacy Achievements Advancement tab, Renown, if you wanted to take a look at where you're at so far. The first is called Limitless, and it requires that you get 999 Renown on one character. So you can see, even on my main character that I play quite a bit, I'm only 400, so I'm very, very far away from getting that, and I don't plan to try and get it for the expansion. The other achievement that you can get is called Everybody Knows My Name, or rather it's called Renowned All Around, but you get a title called Everybody Knows My Name. The other one, you get a title called Limitless, and the second one requires that you get 8 different classes up to Renown level 100. So I've got my Sith Inquisitor done, I've got my Trooper done, and I'm trying to work on my Warrior and my Knight and stuff like that, and you get that special title. Those are going to be going away and won't be earnable, so if you want to try and get them, you have to do it before the expansion launches. They are quite difficult to get, especially if you're starting from scratch. If you're starting at like 0, I wouldn't even worry about them, but if you're close, it could be fun to finish them off. Number 4, Tech Fragments and the Spoils of War achievements. Tech Fragments, the level 75 currency for endgame in the current expansion, are not going away in the 7.0 Legacy of the Sith expansion. However, they will not be a major part of the level 80 gearing system, as there will be some new currencies introduced in the expansion for level 80 gear. Tech Fragments, according to the developers, are now going to be used for tacticals, cosmetics, augments, components, and Kai Zykon's offerings. One cool thing that we know will be purchasable with Tech Fragments in the upcoming expansion is the old gear from the previous expansion. sometimes known as Galactic Command cosmetic gear. It used to come out of the 5.0 gearing crates and was just for looks. When that old system retired, the cosmetic gear became very hard to find for newer players. The mounts and some of the pets showed up on vendors in the supply section, but the armors were just never really available again, except sometimes on the GTN. So if there's any of those sets that you wanted to buy, you might want to hoard up some tech fragments before the new expansion, so you can buy them right away. The developers said before the expansion, Command Crate shells will be available for purchase on a vendor with 7.0's launch for 3,500 tech fragments and 500,000 credits. Another thing that I plan on doing is maxing out my tech fragments right before the expansion hits. You can hold up to 11,000 tech fragments. While there isn't anything specific I want to be able to buy, I thought it would be cool to make sure I had my tech fragments maxed out in case there was anything cool I wanted to buy. For example, we know tacticals will be purchasable. While we don't know exactly what tacticals will be for sale, I should have enough tech fragments to get whatever I need for at least 1 or 2 characters. We also know that Kai Zyken will offer some type of augment components, but we don't know exactly what. In addition, if you're aware of the tech fragment datapad in the supplies section that lets you turn in tech fragments for rare augments crafting materials called OEMs and RPMs. That quest sounds like it will still exist in the expansion. It currently costs 10,000 tech fragments to turn in, but I think this value may be reduced to only 7,500 tech fragments in the expansion, so you may want to save your tech frags instead of turning them in early. Another interesting thing is that in the current expansion, there are a set of achievements called Spoils of War. You'll see them at the very bottom of the achievements list, that encourage you to collect all 68 different set bonus armors available in the game. There's currently not a reward or prize or title or anything like that for doing so, but in the expansion, you will be able to get 68 different titles, 1 for each set bonus you have unlocked in collections in the Spoils of War tab. If you pre-collect these, you'll get the titles as soon as the expansion launches. These achievements are going to be moved to the Feats of Strength category, which is normally for retired achievements, but these Spoils of War achievements are not fully retiring, so you will be able to continue getting them after the expansion launches. The catch is that you'll no longer be able to buy pieces directly from the 6.0 vendors. Instead, so right now you can go over to these vendors in the supply section of the fleet. They're in like a corner, and you can buy the pieces directly. So like here's a vendor, 3,000 tech fragments and 1,000,000 credits each. You'll only be able to buy these sets in the expansion from Kai Zyken as part of a randomized box of gear. So you go over here, Kai Zyken will have something kind of similar. We don't know exactly what, but here's his kind of random box of gear. So if there's a set you wanted to complete, or you want to get one of the specific 68 new titles, you might want to purchase the set now directly from the vendors before the expansion hits. That way, you won't have to rely on the randomness of the boxes after the expansion launches. I put together a spreadsheet that shows the list of titles you can get and where that gear comes from, so you can try and get one or all of the titles. By the way, there is a bug related to the Spoils of War achievements that you may have encountered while trying to collect them. Especially when it first came out, there were some bugs, and some of the items may not have activated the achievements. For example, a lot of the tacticals were not triggering the achievements if you bought them from a vendor. To fix this, take your armor, or your tactical, and mail it over to an Imperial character of yours. Once you mail it and pick it up in your inventory, it should properly trigger the achievement. Hooray! I tested this out, and it worked for me. Number 5, social points. The social point system is also changing dramatically. Instead of there being points that you earn on individual characters, your social rank will be tied to your legacy-wide achievements. and will be for all your characters on your server. So let me show you where that's located. So in your achievements, advancement, and social. You can see social 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something like that. So it'll be tied to all your characters on your server, instead of just individual characters. However, we don't know exactly how the new system will work, just that it will be tied to the group finder. So if you're getting close to social 10, it might be smart to finish that off, and then you don't have to figure it out how it will work in the new system. This might be especially important for players who like to do social points activities like flashpoints outside the group finder. For example, just two friends who like to run together. You do get more social points for each player in your group that makes a decision, so try and get a full group of 4 and run Esselies or Black Talon. Number 6, Dark versus Light tokens. Another system that's going away is a Dark versus Light Galactic system. This is not the same as a Dark and Light meter on your character sheet that changes when you make decisions in cutscenes. Not that. This is the one that rewards Dark and Light tokens based on the weird meter on the galaxy map. This one, it goes bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba, and you have no idea what it means, and it pops up in the middle of the screen. This system was a bit of a mess, so they're retiring it with the expansion. If you do have any Dark or Light tokens, these are not being taken away, and the vendors will remain. But you won't be able to earn any new Dark or Light tokens after the expansion launches, at least not until they figure out a new system. They're looking to reintroduce the rewards in some way, but haven't said or decided how yet. So go take a look at the Galactic Command Dark and Light side vendors. So that's this one and this one. And take a look at the rewards and see if there's any that you really like and want to work towards. If there are, you might want to earn tokens and buy them before the expansion launches. Don't worry, the vendors aren't going away, and neither are your tokens, though. There's some really cool armor, some really cool weapons, some pretty neat mounts with a mount flourish, some pets, 2 companion customization skins. And generally, I like a lot of the rewards offered by these vendors. For example, most of the armors cost around 12 to 16. Some of the cheaper ones are only 8, and the weapons are about 20 tokens each, and the mounts are like 50. The problem is that Dark and Light tokens are very awkward to earn. They are per character, and basically you get one when you level up Renown on a character whose alignment matches the current winning alignment on the galaxy map. So it can be hard to control whether or not you even earn Dark or Light tokens. So the rewards themselves also have an alignment requirement, so you won't be able to buy them if your character's alignment doesn't match. The rewards themselves are legacy bound? Yeah, but you have to be able to purchase them in the first place. For example, I'm a light side character. I can't even purchase these even though they're bind to legacy. I can't buy them for a different character. Good luck figuring that out. Number 7, Dark and Light alignment. One thing that was added to the game as part of the Dark versus Light system was the Dark and Light toggle that shows up near your minimap. It looks like a Dark and Light symbol right beside each other, and you could flip between which one you wanted to support. With this new toggle, anytime you did, well, pretty much anything, including crafting, you would gain Dark or Light points based on your toggle choice, even if it wasn't very thematic. This meant you could earn Dark and Light points from more sources than you could before, because you could only really earn Dark and Light points through the story and through diplomacy crew skills before this toggle was added. With the Dark versus Light system being removed to compensate for the loss of constant alignment gain, character alignment levels and thresholds will revert to pre-Dark versus Light system totals. This means that to level up your character to Dark 5 or Light 5, you'll need less points total, but it might be harder to get points. I recommend if you want to boost your character to Dark 5 or Light 5, it might be easier to do it with the current system compared to after the expansion. I actually have a whole guide about how to do this, how to level up your dark side points quickly. I could be wrong though, it may be way easier after the expansion, who knows. What's really cool is that in the expansion, having the Dark 5 and Light 5 achievements is what will toggle the ability to flip a Force user's class from the light side version to the dark side version. So if you look in your legacy, your alignment achievements, light 5 and dark 5. While we're still waiting on exact details about what characters you'll be able to flip, whether you can do only new ones or do old ones be allowed to be flipped, the developers have confirmed that the flip is tied to achievements. So if you want that option available in the expansion, you might want to work on reaching Dark 5 and Light 5 on any of your characters on your server to unlock the achievement. Number 8, crafting augment kits. Although crafting is not being updated immediately at the launch of the expansion, players who play higher end content quickly will want to craft or buy new augment kits so they can use their previous augments in their new gear, which will not be immediately moddable. So if you're a player who wants the best of the best, you can save some time by pre-preparing 14 MK11 augment kits that can be crafted for yourself for each character you plan to bring into high-end content like Master Mode operations once you've gotten the gear pieces you want to augment. If you don't care about augments, you might be able to make some credits by pre-crafting MK11 kits and selling them when people need them during the expansion. Number 9, clean your inventory and your quest list. Before each expansion, I like to clean my inventory out and clean my quest list of quests I don't plan on completing. That way, when I start a new expansion, I don't have to worry about doing any maintenance kind of things instead of actually playing and enjoying the new content. Many of you have been asking me, should I break down my old gear? I don't know the exact answer to this, as we don't know exactly what tech fragments will be useful for in the future. What I plan to do is keep a set of gear for each of my characters so they have something to wear going into the expansion for sure. I plan on keeping all the tacticals I've picked up in case they're useful in the future. And then lastly, I've got a big decision to make. So there's two options of what I can do with any leftover random gear I have. So the first idea is that I can break it all down. So I have a ton of tech fragments and my inventory is nice and clear. I don't have to worry about it once the expansion hits. The other option is I can hoard any random gear that I get from now until the expansion so that when the expansion hits, I can try breaking it all down and hope I get extra tech fragments, kind of like an extra additional hoard since there is a tech fragment cap in the currency. It's totally up to you what you want to try. I think me and another player, we're going to try hoarding some items and see if we can get bonus tech fragments in the expansion. But honestly, it's going to be a big mess of items to deal with once the expansion hits. Totally up to you what you want to do. I will be making sure that my inventories are clean of all other items, so. Number 10, stockpiling credits. While we don't know exactly what making credits or spending credits will look like in the expansion, we do know one source of constant flow of credits is being removed. You'll no longer get credits for every small conquest objective you complete on purpose or on accident. So if you've got some extra time, maybe go complete conquests on a few extra characters and stockpile some credits for the expansion. And finally, number 11, daydream about characters. With the ability to pick up a second combat style and being able to make new level 1 characters with different advanced classes than we could in the past, now is a great time to daydream up new characters you'll make in the expansion. For example, if you want to make a trooper who is also a sniper, that's something you'll be able to do in the expansion. Or a Jedi Knight who wields a double-bladed lightsaber as a shadow. You can work on how they might look, if they might be light or dark, what their backstory might be, or what their personality might be like, or even start collecting some cool cosmetic armor and weapons for them before the expansion launches. I hope you enjoyed this look into some of the things you can do to prepare for the upcoming expansion. This list is definitely pick and choose, and I'd love to hear which of the goals you're tackling before the expansion hits in the comments below. If you want to show your support for these guides and news coverage about your favorite game, visit Swtorista.com/support. And if you want similar Star Wars The Old Republic videos to show up on your YouTube homepage, subscribe to this channel. And as always, may the Force be with you.